pay to win account, and we have the Dismal Maze that finally came up today. So we're going to run through there, but first we are going to look at the Misty Valley. Of course, they keep the Misty Valley now just kind of on recycle. As we know, we do also have the Voyage, but the Misty Valley has an incredible amount of resources, as you can see there, as well as a significant amount of stones, and of course, the Pocoins. The Pocoins we absolutely love. And here we do want to try to finish chapter 31 before this one is done, so we can go ahead and pick up a lot of loot out of there with the completion of chapter 21. Picking up 10 more red chests would be very, very nice. We're almost done with 31 at this point. We're in 31-52, so we got 8 more stages before we are completely done with this chapter, which would be awesome, into chapter 32. So let's go ahead. We'll get into the Misty Valley really quick. That way we can start our loot adventure. So usually it's light bearers. Let's see if we got it. Yep, victory, light bearers. Achieve victory with 5 different faction heroes. All right, so first of all, let's strip off all of our gear. I believe we do have light bearers. I was using, or the Wilders, I was using Lorzen a little bit. I think we had Taline and the Twins. We also did have Rose. We were using Rose. We were using a couple other heroes here. All right, so first of all, we need light bearers. We were using Belinda as well. What's going on, Bonus? Thanks for joining me for live stream. Very, very last minute again, like we've been doing lately. But we are going to run through the Misty Valley. So definitely want to make some progression. Definitely want to finish out the Misty Valley because there is a crazy amount of loot to be had in here. If you guys haven't checked it out, the Misty Valley is up. The Dismal Maze is up. Let me know your thoughts on the Dismal Maze. A lot of people not really too happy overall with the Dismal Maze from my understanding, from what I'm hearing. A lot of people not too impressed. Not too impressed with the Dismal Maze overall. The loot, I believe, is a little bit lower than I thought it would be. I hope the Dismal Maze would hold a little bit more loot, even though it does provide quite a bit of resources. So we're going to be running that in a little bit. But short of the resources, it doesn't give that many more Pocoins. And a lot of players that have been trying to go through the Dismal Maze haven't been able to complete it. So essentially, if you're trying to go through the Dismal Maze and you cannot finish the Dismal Maze, means that essentially you are going to lose a ton of your Pocoins if you can't finish the Dismal Maze. Finish 29:30. There's one though to kill the backline. Yes, for that one they said Taline and also using Taline and using Iran. That was the combination. What's going on, Mondo and BNH? Thanks for joining me for the last minute kind of live stream here. So we need 5 different factions. I think that was the one. So we'll swap Damon in here. Then we'll go, I think it was 5 different factions. I hope it wasn't 5 different classes and I just read that wrong. But we're going to go ahead and run through the Misty Valley, just like we normally do. So if you guys have questions, this is kind of a little tedious part of AFK Arena. 5 different faction heroes, which is good. Nice to see you. Urgent question. What do you got? What's the questions? Always open to answer questions. And I've seen a lot of people are not too keen on the sushi guide that just came out. All right, so this one should be 5 different factions, which is good. Pocoins, 450 Pocoins for every gold challenge. 20 stages, that is what, 9,000 Pocoins, which is awesome. Absolutely crazy. What's going on, Blaine? New Maze was easy, could get a little bit. Yeah, little. That was what everyone has been saying. It's very, very disappointing when it comes to the actual loot that players are getting out of the maze. It's disappointing. That's probably the biggest word that I've heard is disappointing. You do get a very, very small amount of resources, but short of that, it's not really worth it at all, is what a lot of people have said. Lost the final boss of Dismal Maze and only got 5. And HH, that's the other thing we were just talking about. A lot of people have said is if you cannot get through the Dismal Maze, which is the case for a lot of players, if you don't have the team, they're not able to get through the Dismal Maze. So not only are you losing out on tokens not being able to go through the maze is essentially you can't finish the maze, which is the other problem that a lot of players are running into. I did the ultra hard mode lab. It was quite easy at 370, but it has poor rewards. But there is a quest which gives you 3K labs. Yeah, I think if you look in there, I think there are a couple quests. Usually they have a like finish it 1 time, finish it 3 times, 10 times, 100 times. So I think it might DFZSH. I think there might be a couple different achievements when you finish it the first couple times, similar to what we've seen on the first mage. I think there is a couple different achievements. I'd be shocked if they didn't add a couple rewards. If you check out the campaign tab at the end, if you completed the first one, go ahead and look. It should have it in there. It should have the next stage in there. So battle wilders do not trigger ultimates more than 1 time. All right, so let's swap in, take out our maulers. We'll swap in our wilders. And as we've been accumulating essentially more relics here, I did go ahead and level up my Windbinder artifact to 4 stars now. So we did add 1 more star there. With the relics that we've been gaining, it seems like pretty consistently we're getting resources to level up. What's going on, Sword? The only hard fight was using 2 teams, but I didn't recognize the debuffs. Yeah, that's already talking about the lab. Yes, absolutely talking about the lab. I get to do the Dismal Lab if it allows wilders, only wilders. That's the problem I'm going to have on my wilder account. Running just wilders and only wilders is going to be a little bit difficult running on the account, but I really think we can maybe do it. So here we needed 4. 1, 2, 3. We'll swap in Saurus and then no alts. So we'll actually swap. We'll keep Taline in there. I think it's 4 wilders and no alts. Perfect for free-to-play players to attain Ines and Albedo. You could do a nice video about that with the trick not obtaining it. Do you mean like, what do you mean not obtaining it? Do you mean saving like the Arthur tokens? Because a lot of players already have Arthur, so that's not an option. If you already have Arthur built, you can't do the little redemption trick they have. So no alts. So we can do 1. We'll do 1 alt. Boom, there's our alt. Should be good, which is good. I got the Dismal Maze. It allows, yep, hurry up. No, there's no more rewards at the moment. Oh, it's only the first time. Well, that kind of sucks that it's only the first time. The first time you go through the Dismal Maze, at least run it once to go ahead and get that reward, that little bonus. If you're saving on tokens or if you're capped on lab tokens, just save that reward from the Dismal Maze. So if you get there, make sure you don't redeem it. What's going on, Antonio? So here we need Silas and Isolde and Graveborn. All right, we should be able to do this one relatively easy. Silas, Isolde, and Graveborn. I love the Misty Valley as well as the Abyssal Expedition. I'm glad they put this one on repeat. It's pretty easy. So Silas, we only have at level 1. Might need a little bit better gear than him. But we need Isolde as well. So we got Silas, we got Isolde. We'll pick up Nara. Let me drop Silas in here. If we got room, we don't have room. Oh, we're gonna have to reset one of these. Let's go with Falks. We're gonna put Silas in here. As a free-to-play, should I go Ines or Albedo? Taking into account, if you're going for one, Ines. 100% Ines. Albedo is not very strong. Ines is exactly what you want to build if you're only getting 1. I mean, you have 200 lab coins, but with these quests, you have 3, 5. Yeah, so DFZHJ, they just said you can only redeem it once. So you'll only get 1 single shot at the redemption, and then you will not be able to get it again. So you could bank 3,000 coins, but that is all you're going to be able to get out of that event. As a person with only 8 ascended heroes, I should avoid the 2-team fights. Oh, I forgot my ultimate abilities on. It depends you're at, because it really shouldn't be too hard as long as you can get pretty good RNG, I guess, with the battles. because even having 8 ascended heroes, remember the lab is based on your power. So even if you have lower level heroes, which we got all of those done, it's not going to make a difference because the lab is based on the power. It is kind of the big thing there. So they're not going to, or shouldn't, super overscale you based on your heroes, based on your power. So even if you had all mythic heroes, even with 2 teams, you should have no problem getting through there. All heroes placed on backline must be tanks and 4-dimensionals. All right. So essentially, you shouldn't have much of a problem going through there. Again, because of the scaling of the heroes. There's Silas, so let's go with Celestials and Hypogens. And I think we only needed 4. But let's go with Ainz. I haven't used Ainz in a long time. Since we actually got him. Doing good, Mystical Wolves. Pretty crazy at work today, but how do you kill the 3 backline heroes first? Any tip? A lot of people have said Nara and Iran. So essentially, if you look at the team itself, if you put Iran up front, it'll grab these 3. If you put Nara in the bottom, so here, you'll grab 1, 2, and 3. You'll grab all 3 of the backline heroes together. Taylene has a tendency also to come back here and kill the backline. So if you have Taylene, might take a little bit of RNG to actually get it done. But those are the backline team comps that I've been seeing, is running them together. I have 600 hero coins. Can I get the last 200 to get both Ainz and Albedo? If you only have 60,000, I think you're going to be very close. You might be able to get it, but you might end up coming up just a little bit short using them. You might be a little bit short overall. If you only have 60,000, I don't think you can get 200,000 Serbian Gamer within that time. Ainz helped me beat the new Labyrinth in less than 15 seconds. Yeah, Ainz is an absolute monster. Like we've said from the beginning, he can just decimate an entire team by himself. As long as he ults, especially I've ran Ainz with Rose, can absolutely just destroy teams in an instance. So the back has to be tanks. So we'll do tank. We'll do tank. We'll put in Damon in there since he is one of our favorite tanks. Then we'll go with our regular combination here. Should be good. I have 38 Ascended Heroes nearly free to play. I'm buying the $1 at the events. Had trouble to build a second team. If you have 38 Ascended Heroes, but I had trouble. You shouldn't have really too much trouble building a second team. Watching my brother so bad in chess it hurts. Nice, Dark Hearted. Not a very strong chess player, I see. I'm not the best either. I'll be honest. Not the best at chess. Honestly, didn't mind the new lab. Beat it and got about 12k lab tokens. And since Riz is not in there, you get 1/3 each of the rewards. There are 3 floors. That's where you got 3,300 challenge. Yeah, the new lab is out. So what a lot of players have been saying with the new lab is that if you, which we got destroyed here with Silas. With the new lab is if you're on the old lab, if you get Riz, so if you actually get into the Riz fight, very good. You can get more coins than you can with the regular fight. If you don't get the bonus Labyrinth coins from Riz, you get less coins. So it's kind of one or the other, really. I think we might have to swap up our tank combination here. Not even really watching much of what's going on, but it looks like we're just getting destroyed relatively quick. Lucius getting destroyed, Taylene getting destroyed. Might have to break in Arthur. What would you recommend? Pharrell, Leica, or Iran to 9 of 9? For furniture, honestly, with that combination, I would go Iran. Iran just for the fact of the damage. The new list came out. I know been hearing a lot about it since it came out from White Sushi, but Iran gets a good damage buff. That's why we went 9 of 9 on the Wilder account first. It's pretty strong. I mean, it is definitely a pretty strong 9 of 9 because as long as you're keeping him up, if he's in a team where he stays healed, it's doing a lot of damage. Is it in the public server? Yes, it is in the public server. You have to be into chapter 27. If I'm not mistaken, 27 is the labyrinth, is when you can pull up the Dismal Maze. So if you're not in 27, you might have a little bit of room or a little bit of time to still get there. But I'm thinking here, this is going to be one that is going to be tough. Who is doing the gold challenge? Let's look at the gold challenge here. One player, which had Orthos. Look at that. Orthos and Mizoth. That's a pretty good combination to have. Let's swap out. We'll swap out Rowan for Saurus. Maybe that'll make a difference. That's a pretty tough. Don't have that many tanks. A lot of them are warrior classes that are really good. Wait, for real? You can't access it? Yes, if you're not far enough, you have to be in 27. New Labyrinth right there. Difficulty is up. If you're not far enough, you will not be able to access it. You have to be in chapter 27. Lilith has been essentially putting out a lot of more endgame content, I guess, because even a lot of the new artifacts and stuff are pretty high level overall. Let's try Arthur in the middle. The even Saurus. Remember, this is kind of based on your level too, so we're fighting a lot more difficult heroes than most of the other players, and Damon is just getting destroyed there. We can continue though. I can come back to that one. I don't want to be stuck on it all day. So back to Lightbearers. Achieve victory without a ranger or a mage. I'm thinking Screg too, because Screg is not too built. All right, so we need Lightbearers again. So let's grab some gear off these guys. Still absolutely waiting for a remove all gear button. Still nothing with Lilith and no movement that I know of, and getting a ultimate button that will remove the gear. And upset that the new Hypogen is in 1120 of the Misty Valley. Instead of first one where you could have used in trial to complete. Oh, do you have to fight him? Do you have to use him? I'm not sure if people have redeemed him. See you later, Dark-Hearted. Have a good night. Put Rowan and Iran in the front, back, Lucius, Screg, Damon. Oh, yeah. We could swap Iran in there. Let's see, because right now, I like to run Gwen with Rose is a really good combination. Look how fast Gwen just burns heroes down. Very, very cool. Rowan and Iran in front, Lucius, Screg, and Damon in the back. All right, Serbian Gamer. We'll swap it up next time. So no ranger, about a ranger or a mage. Not really too difficult, even though we got to swap out more of our. So no ranger, no mage. We know she's a ranger. We know she's a mage. We got support. Got a tank. I think we're just going to go with no ranger, no mage. Let's go with a warrior. No rangers. So we'll go with Damon. Damon's usually pretty strong. We got Rowan. We can drop in Rose. We got Saurus. We can drop in Tassie too. Tassie and Damon. We'll go for that one. Iran needs 2 copies and he is ascended, but I don't know if I should go for Tassie and Gwen instead of Iran. For the hero's choice, I would honestly go with Iran. Finish him out. Iran is going to be a super strong hero. He's very, very strong, especially when you get further. Once you get further kind of into the campaign, even early game, Iran is very, very strong. He is a very strong hero through the entire game. He'll do really well. Look at that. We have Rose on Tassie. How many times do you see that for a double slumber? But look how strong Tassie is. There we go. You need to use Leica, Twins, Falks, Rowan, and Gwen. Just try it. For which one? Leica, Twins, Falks, Rowan, and Gwen. So there's no ranger, no mage. I sent you this in Discord. Some math need or research here. We need some math, which will end up better because of the negative effect caused by having two. Not sure what you mean, Zoe. Some math needed or research. So here we need some math, which will end up being better because of the negative effect caused by having two. Calls, if you have two support in your lineup that would normally give call, or even three, you could go one call and one. Oh, the math, Zoe, are you talking about the relic or the artifact with the Tidebringer? Because of the diminishing returns, essentially. So let's hop back to this one. We're going to use Serbian Gamers idea here. So we'll swap in Iran. Get him all set. He said Iran and Rowan. So we'll swap in Rowan. Rowan's already geared up. Yeah, the Tide Caller, we're going to have to see essentially how good it is. So Lucius, which Lucius we have, Screg, which we have, and Damon. Damon is already geared out as well. All right, so let's see how we do with this one. Yeah, I'll check it out after the Zoe, because it's interesting because I want to see the data. I definitely want to check it out. I absolutely love the data and everything that kind of supports the decisions that we make in AFK Arena. We got Iran, and Rowan, and then we'll go with. Let's go this way. If you go that route, you would be mathematically better 2 calls or 1 call, 1 tide. It's a no-brainer if you have 3 support to go 2 and 1. Yeah, if you're running 3 support, I could see it, but most of the time we're not running 3 support. Very, very rarely do I see running 3 support, possibly on a boss. On a boss fight running 3 support, but other than that, I'm not sure exactly. So here, let's try this route. I'm hoping we can get some of these heroes down relatively quick, or at least get Iran to ult before he dies. Seems like that's really the big thing here, is Iran is not getting to ult. There's the ult, so we can get a little bit of crowd control in there. This one, just like some of the other ones, might take a little bit of RNG. What is the best artifact? The call, or not the call, excuse me, the eye. With Leica, you want to get up the attack speed. The attack speed's really the main thing that you want. And Damon, even fully geared with the signature item, 1 star, even with furniture, just getting destroyed. Absolutely just getting run over. Again, this is going to take a little bit of RNG, but I think we should be able to get it down. Even though Zolrath is a nightmare. Yeah, the 3 backline. This was the one that a lot of people have been commenting on or complaining about. Either way you want to put it. That has been really hard to complete. I'm hoping we can get a shield, which we got a first one there from Lucius, and actually get a couple of these targets down before Iran dies. But even there, if we're not getting Silas down, we're not going to be able to do it. Looking forward to the new Labron. I had fun with it. Yeah, and that's Toga. That's what I really think, is it's with it being kind of a change of pace. That's what a lot of people are going to be looking for. As you guys know, I run a lot of accounts, and honestly, it gets really, really boring running the normal Labyrinth 8 times a day. So if I can run a couple of the new Labyrinths, would be pretty nice. Even here with the team with Silas, we're not going to be able to get this down. Rowan, then Rose, Rowan, and Iran front. Yeah, we have Rowan, Iran front. I'm not sure. Maybe another tank. Like I said, instead of Lucius, but if Lucius can... It just seems like Satrana does so much damage just in a huge burst. See, we're just getting absolutely destroyed. Look at Satrana's damage. 20 million damage right off the bat. On Damon in the back, so Damon got a shield up. You're saying about the team, you need to kill the backline first, like Twins, folks. Okay. Oh, well, when we get there, I'll check it out. This is the one we were trying to get through right now. Short of having Orthos, because Orthos is absolutely sick to deal with, especially with his furniture. But with 3 tanks back line for tanking class, who else do we have? We have Gorvo and we have Arthur. We could swap in possibly maybe Arthur just to take a little bit of damage, maybe deal a little bit more damage. Because even there, I mean, Warwick is just destroying us. The Iran almost got his ult off. That was like 1 second from his ult. This might be close. We can actually get Orthos down if anyone can kill Orthos. This is why players dislike Orthos. Look at the heal. We're not going to have enough damage to take him down. That was close.